Hey guys, welcome to the video. This video is about changing the oil on our Chevy Trax. Please enjoy the video and thank you guys for watching. Alright, we're under the vehicle right now. Changing the oil, trying to change the filter.
The big problem I have is I don't have the right filter wrench. I've got like 3 filter wrenches, none of them fit. In that case, I usually go to this strap wrench, which usually works, except for it's slipping on the filter. And whoever put this filter on cranked it down so freaking tight. You don't have to have your filters on so tight. So as you can see, the oil is starting to drain, and unfortunately I tried this strap once already and it tends to crush the filter.
The best thing about doing this when it's hot is everything will drain down a little bit quicker. Isn't that right?
I do like I like the design of this because the plug is at the lowest spot on the oil pan.
You know, it looks like
which is really good.
It looks like the oil pan is just a couple of bolts. It's not hidden by any cross frames. And you can remove this. You can remove this little piece of plastic here and get to your oil pan. I really like that. That's a really good idea. But if you're looking to get to your transmission anytime soon, you'd be looking to take this off. I give Chevy a good job for working on this, doing this.
Yeah.
Working on the underside of this.
This is probably one of the easiest oil changes to get to everything. You have your drain bolt and your filter very closely located and very accessible. So we did want to take this out for a nice drive and warm it up.
That drive turned into a couple-hour long drive.
Yeah, we live in Phoenix, and North and South 17 was closed for a small stretch, but it rippled through and just completely fouled traffic up in the area. So we thought we were going to be smart and head up to New River and get off at the New River exit. Well, everybody else had the same idea.
Yeah.
And people that were heading south on 17 were getting off at New River also. So it created quite a mess.
The exit that we were actually going our main exit that we usually take to get off, that one was like so freaking backed up, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now I usually like to let the oil drain and just get every drop out of it. So we're going to cut away for a while, let it drain. Smell like oil?
Yeah, it smells like oil. Give it a smell. It doesn't smell like gasoline at all. It just smells like it's been through it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So when you take the filter off, always check and make sure that the gasket, the seal, comes off, and it's not stuck on the underside of the oil canister where the oil filter seals back up. Ask me how I know. I've done that once where I didn't check, and the last thing you want is seal on seal trying to put a new filter on, and when you do that, I experienced this where I didn't check, and I ended up the filter ended up blowing out between the seals as the pressure built up. What a freaking mess that was. That took a lot of kitty litter to clean that mess up. So don't do that.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut away, let it drain, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back at you. I thought about this a little bit more, and I'm more convinced than ever that the dealership never changed the oil, even though I took it in. Luckily, we're still within the specifications for the oil. I did take it in December, and the reason that I'm thinking they didn't change it is the oil's really dirty. For having 2,000 miles on it, the oil shouldn't be this dirty. For 6,000 yak, it should be this dirty. The other thing is, typically when you buy a new car from the manufacturer, they put the oil filter on super tight, like way over tight. And that's exactly what I experienced. I had to use a strap and basically crush it to get the filter off. They never, and when they put the new filters on, they never put it on that tight. So this oil was never changed, my guess. But we have the replacement. Guy and I keep well stocked with supplies. So this vehicle calls for 5W30. This is the Dexon variant that GM wants. So, and this is a 10,000 mile full synthetic. I don't remember what I paid for this, but it's far cheaper than Mobil 1. The filter, it's an AC Delco. It's the exact replacement filter for this vehicle. So we're gonna, you know, and I usually like to go with what's the brand that we go with, guy? Usually
Wix.
What is it?
Wix.
Wix. I couldn't get this in a Wix filter, so this is what we have. No problems with GM. This car happens to take 4.2 quarts of 5W30, so we're gonna check out, see if it's done draining. And if it is, we will we'll start filling it. So catch you in a couple.
All right.
Camera's on, Dad.
All right, so when you do an oil filter change, what I usually do is I just take some of the oil that's still dripping and dropping, and I coat the coat the gasket really good, the seal. So the seal, a lot of people will fill this filter up, and there's a lot of debate on the internet about that. I don't think it's worth the mess to do, so I will. I'll just put it back on, and the oil will filter through the engine. When the engine starts, the oil will filter through the engine.
Do you have anything else to say to the camera, Dad?
We are heading to the store to go get the right oil filter for Stinky. Stinky, we call it Stinky. There's a whole nother story behind that one.
Oh yeah. This is a story because of me. There was one day I was driving home. I'm gonna tell you the day before. I used to work for a friend outside, and this was during the middle of summer too, so it was 116 out. And
aim it towards you. Tell the story.
I left my lunchbox. It was basically like a cooler, and I'd have my like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and some Powerade in there, and I'd fill it up with ice and have a nice lunch and some nice ice cold Powerade. So what I did, so one day I forgot the lunchbox was in the back of the car, and I left the Powerade just slightly open, and the sugar inside of the Powerade mixed with the water, the melted water inside the cooler, and since it was 116 out, it fermented inside the car, and it left a god-awful smell.
In
And I'm like,
the cooler.
in the cooler, and it left this smell, and I'm like, man, what the hell is this smell? I can't get rid of it. I've cleaned out the car, I cleaned out this, I cleaned out that, and I'm like, and then Dad just like walked back to the back of the car, and he's like, man, guy, you know, you left your cooler back here. And then I open the cooler and I smell it, and I'm like, whoa, that stinks. And it stinked up the whole car. I cleaned out the whole car minus the what was the cooler. And I thought the cooler was drained at the time. I thought there was nothing in it, and I just thought I was just carrying it around. But I just thought it was an empty cooler, but it had a bunch of water and Powerade in it, and the water fermented with Powerade, and it stunk really bad for like a couple of weeks. And I'm like, man, I can't figure out what the smell is. Dad popped back, and
well, we finally got to the point where we just took everything out of the vehicle. We cleaned the inside of the vehicle, and
I mean, after we took out the fermenting lunchbox, we left the car outside, and we rolled down all the windows, and we let it sit outside for like a couple hours, I think, right?
well, we let it air out, but leading up to that, we were still trying to figure out what the smell was from, because the car still had a new car smell, but
Yeah.
it had a new car smell with a rotten, nasty smell. And the two, I'm like, man, there's something just god-awful wrong with this vehicle. And after we got everything out of the vehicle, I looked in the trunk area, and I'm like, huh, what is this ice chest doing back there? How long has it been back there? So I grabbed it, and I put my nose next to it. I'm like,
Oh!
I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, here it is. So I brought it over and let Guy smell it, and I'm like, don't get that fluid on anything, because it will stink to high heaven.
So we took it to the lunchbox filled with that fluid all the way to the backyard, dumped the fluid back there, nowhere close to where the our fence is at, and then we let it sit out there for like probably a week, and it's still
weeks and weeks and
weeks and weeks.
I think we threw dirt in it also, just to try to.
I think we also threw diesel in it because we were working on the transmission at the time.
Yeah, we got rid of the stinky smell, but we replaced it with the smell of diesel.
Yeah. So that's the story of that.
So that's how the car earned its nickname, Stinky. So Stinky's been a great car. It's a 2024 Chevy Trax. We bought it from Van Chevrolet in the Valley. And I took it to Van Chevrolet to have the oil change. I don't know for certain, but my gut's telling me they never changed the oil, even though I took it in for service. So this is kind of disappointing.
This truck is called, this is a 2024 Chevy Trax, or not a Chevy Trax, a 2024 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss, and we've taken it to get the oil change there, right? This is its first oil change, right?
Yeah, I took it to the dealership because the dealership included a free oil change with the purchase of a vehicle. It could be as free as, they could give me the next 20 oil changes for free. If they don't change the oil, it doesn't really mean much.
No. So we're gonna check the oil on this thing too, and we're probably gonna make another video of changing the oil on this thing, because we've never changed the oil on this.
Yeah, and I'm a little skeptical now of the service department at Van Chevrolet, because they didn't. I don't believe they followed through with the oil change on the Trax, so now I'm suspicious as to whether or not they did it on this vehicle.
Yeah.
My wife's vehicle, I took it in for service. I think they changed the oil because I recently changed the oil in her car, and the filter was not on anywhere near that tight.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will get the right filter, and we'll be back with you and Stinky in just a little bit.
Alrighty. All right, we're back. We got our Mobile One oil filter.
See, don't skimp on oil filters.
This one was $17. I'd say that's worth it.
Yeah, and we'll probably be able to get those filters on Amazon, so I'll stock up with a couple of them. You know, just to have them. It's you know, something like the AutoZone works in a pinch when you need a filter and don't have it. But you know, we have it. We'll finish changing the oil, and we'll get Stinky back up and running.
All right, see you guys at home.
All right, so here we go again. Taking care of the seal. We will slide it up in here, make sure it fits. This one feels like it's going to fit. There you go. That's usually good enough. We don't even have to put a wrench on it, but we will. Where's the wrench at? You gonna grab us a paper towel real quick?
Yeah.
All right, so as you can tell, I tightened the bolt up, the oil drain plug bolt. I didn't go gorilla tight with it. So when I'm done, I just like to wipe everything down, clean everything up. So we got a little bit of oil on the ground here. We'll clean this up. But we'll get it better when we move Stinky out of the way. So we're pretty much done underneath here. We got 4.2 quarts to put in, and then we'll check it. See you up top. All right, so guy's the cameraman here. He does better than that. So I wanted to tell you guys a story. I did call the Van Chevrolet and spoke to the sales guy that I bought the car from. I bought several cars from him. Great guy. I'll try to include a link to his YouTube channel. He works for Van Chevrolet. Top sales guy there. Great guy, honest as can be.
YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel?
Yeah, he does.
Really?
Yeah. His name's Spencer Kaufman, but he does have a YouTube channel.
What does he do? I'm honestly curious. I didn't know he was a YouTuber.
Yeah, he does a lot of vans. He does a lot of Chevy videos. So a lot of Chevy type videos, vehicles, comparisons, that sort of thing. So we'll find his link, his YouTube channel, include it. But we are now ready to start putting oil in this. It takes 4.2 quarts, and as you can see, we have the perfect measuring. This measures 2 quarts at a time. Since it's 4.2 quarts, we'll do 4 quarts, and then figure out the 0.2. Or 1/5 of a quart.
Funnel? You want me to do that?
Yep. We got our trusty dusty funnel, make sure everything's clean. This was the same container that we siphoned some of the oil out, and where we started having suspicions about the quality of the oil. And as you can see, Guy cleaned this thing out completely. So we use it over and over. We got this at Walmart for next to nothing, and
$1.
Yeah, we use it over and over and over again.
Now this is kitchen pitcher stuff, so
Yeah. Hey, we don't mind shopping in the kitchen aisle for deals. So one thing you'll find out is Guy and I are always looking for a deal. So when you do peel this off, you got to make sure that none of this stuff goes into the oil.
oh, we had that happen once.
Yeah, so because then it gets into your oil filter, or it could clog up something inside your engine and cause all kinds of problems. So we'll do 2 quarts at a time. You can see this is nice clean oil. This is way better than the stuff that we just drained out.
And this is the same type of motor oil that's in my truck too, 5W30. And you're there.
Right there's 2 quarts. So we'll take this over. We'll do 2 quarts.
Check below. No leaks. We always check for no leaks because if it's leaking, then we have an issue.
All right, so there's 2 quarts. We have 2 more quarts. Pretty easy to do. Oil changes are really easy to do. Just follow the basic steps.
Or don't.
Or don't. You know, sometimes if you hire somebody and they cut corners, they won't do it. But this is pretty good oil. I've used this oil for years.
Probably 6.
Walmart oil, I've used it probably since I've been out of college.
Really?
Yeah, I've used whatever synthetic motor oil was available that wasn't ungodly expensive. I used because I figure most of this oil is made in the same place.
Valvoline.
And there's some oil channels out there. There's some guys that do comparisons of oils, and they'll pretty much come back and say, you know, there are some differences, but they're so minor. So we got 0.2 quarts of oil to add, and I don't know really how to do 0.2, so I'm just going to add a little bit. We'll call that 0.2 for now. And when we get it down on the ground, we'll do a measurement. If we need to add more, we will. This is probably less than 0.2, but
that's good enough.
It's good enough for now.
All right.
So we're going to button this up, start it, get it off the ramps, and check everything out. Yep. Now you want to start this thing up and roll off the ramps?
Yeah. I put the bag of salt back there.
Yeah, we need to get that out.
So you guys right here. This Craftsman kit I'm looking at right here costing me $60. Best $60 I've ever spent because it's rebuilt my truck 3 times. I know, crazy. You spend $100, they give you a whole box. Are we ready?
Yep, go ahead and take it down.
Ready?
Go ahead, take it down. Okay, hold on. Okay, bring it on in. That's good.
How are we looking, my friend?
Now let's check it out. So We got to let the oil settle back down into the engine, but the oil is a lot cleaner.
You think it's good since we turned it on? We're thinking of taking a break for the rest of the day because it is pretty cloudy out.
Yeah, let's finish up the oil change, and that is to empty this container. So this is the filter we pulled off.
Oh shit.
You can tell that it's pretty smashed, and that's because it was on there so tight. And the two things that you look at, the two things I looked at to realize that the oil was never changed is that when you buy a new car, like I said, usually they'll screw the oil filter on so unbelievably tight it takes a strap wrench to get it off.
Yeah. Alright. I think the battery's dead in this thing already.
Alright, let's go ahead and bring that oil thing over. Let me get rid of this. We got space in there for that?
Yeah, we do.
Usually you want to take it over the bucket first when you do that.
Yeah.
Next weekend we got to take that for
we do.
recycling. Here, give me that. Okay, got back on it.
Alright. And that's how full our bucket is right there. Alright, this is our oil change. Thank you guys for watching. The battery is about to die, but thank you for watching the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more videos like this. We really need you guys to subscribe so we can grow this channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.